Stories find us, we don't find them. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it just put a smile on my face and like resonated with me absolutely. And like this for East of Wall, like the fact that we had, when I found the story, I just thought we have no business knowing each other, and somehow now this is going to take over years of my life, and this is going to be like the most powerful connection I ever had, just by taking a wrong turn down a road in South Dakota and finding a family there. And in the same sense, I feel like they found me and I found them, and it was, just so yeah, that resonates with me 100%.
Bold decisions. That's what really makes the difference between a director and the decision of going with a very novice cast. Very bold, very risky. Yeah. Why?
Because I think that's needed. I think Hollywood really plays it safe. And, as a director, you just need to not think about the audience at some point. You just have to think, okay, what do I want? It's the only way to stay original and stay bold in that sense. And to make a name for yourself, you have to take a risk. And I love unconventional storytelling, and I think it's needed for different demographics and different communities to really be able to finally see themselves portrayed accurately on screen. You have to take that risk.
You cast your own daughter. Well, has the relationship flourished? Was it challenging, or is it something that made both of you better connected?
Yeah. So, I mean, when I met Tabitha and her family, I mean, their connection was so palpable. And yes, maybe they were at crossroads because of things that had happened in their life. And Portia was a teenager, and Tabby's a widowed mother dealing with so many things on a ranch. So, yeah, it's their connection is pretty incredible, and that's what I wanted to portray on screen as a director.
You called it a modern. It's considered a modern Western. What similarities make it a Western, and what sets it apart?
It is a modern Western because for me, it's about the difference is it's about cowgirls, and with this, Hollywood is now really into creating all these Westerns, but none of them are really being told through the voices of women. So it is a Western, but shot in not your stereotypical way. Yes, we have the sweeping landscapes, but I really wanted to focus in as like a character piece on this family. So yeah, you have Western elements, but it's really told in a way that hasn't been told before.
What should the audience expect from this movie?
I think once you sit with it, once you get in there, you just need to let yourself be involved in these people's life, and because you're going to be seeing a culture that you maybe haven't seen before, and a way of life you haven't seen before when you're thinking about a Western. You're going to be moved by these performances of people playing versions of themselves. They're so authentic, and they're so brave to be telling their story. So you're going to really feel so much power and conversations about female survival in the West. So yeah, and then you're going to also get ready for some great music. We have amazing soundtrack and just some badass cowgirls, running through a pasture at 40 miles an hour.
You said that it took you 2 years to make this film. Sometimes there's peaks and valleys in filmmaking. It is a grueling process. What was the motivating factor for you that kept you going strong throughout?
Yeah, I actually lived there for 3 years, and then we made the film after the 3 years, so it's been about like 5.5-year process. Yeah, and yeah, sorry, can you repeat that one question?
I mean, what was your motivating factor that kept you locked in?
Yeah, well, I think it's because I've never seen a story like this before, you know? So I wanted to live there for so long because this felt so original and fresh to me. And I fell in love with this family and this cast, and I just wanted to be with them all the time. And, you know, it was a small crew, small film, and you just start kind of making film, like something special with people that you love. And that's what keeps you in it.
There's a process of filmmaking, right? There's pre-production, the writing, then there's the production, and then there's post with the audience reaction. What was your favorite part?
You know what? I love certain moments of in post. I love sound design. That's really fun for me, especially with a Western. There's so many elements you can play with. So I loved that. And then, you know, of course, playing with the audience, getting into Sundance and winning the audience award at Sundance was really huge for us. And that was really emotional moment. So I feel like you can't really beat winning at Sundance.
You're a writer and director. Now there's different methods, right, of directing. You know, you stick closely to the script. Did you allow for ad libs and people to really feel them way through their characters?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was writing the script, it's 100% inspired by their lives. But there's, you know, moments of the scripts are things that have, you know, things that we've witnessed together when I was living there and things that we've gone through. And then also stories that they've shared with me from the past. And then we kind of made that into a script and put some fiction through it. But I really wanted, in order for this to stay authentic and you to still feel that hybrid of docu-fiction, it was really important to me to collaborate as much as I could with this cast and have it feel authentic to them. So I was constantly asking, okay, what would you say this? What would you do in this situation? And we would constantly just go back and forth, just trying to craft this into the most authentic script it could be for them.
You're out there in South Dakota. What is it about South Dakota that is just captivating? I mean, is it the landscape, or is it the people, or is it that rustic feeling of Americana that still exists out there?
I think it's all of that. There's such a lawless feeling out here too, where it's a very freeing feeling. But honestly, it was those kids. Like I just wanted to be with them, and I loved going to rodeos with them and just like learning everything about their way of life and how they looked at the world. And I mean, as a filmmaker, the light in South Dakota is so beautiful. So it's kind of every filmmaker's dream.
Horses are very therapeutic. How did the horses affect you, and did they make you a better person?
Yes, absolutely. And it was really moving to see these kids who've come from, these teenagers who've come from such immense trauma and such difficult backgrounds, and their connections with their horses is so emotional to witness. And they used all their real horses in this movie. There's no like Hollywood stunt horses. We had an amazing wrangler, but like everything that you're seeing is their real horses that were all rescued from kill pens. So kill pens are basically, you know, when people want to throw away their horse, and someone can either buy it or, unfortunately, there's a reason why it's called a kill pen. And so they were every horse that Tabitha rescues, they're from the kill pens, and they're the ones that nobody wanted. And for them to now be in a film that's going to be in theaters and they get a second chance, that's also emotional.
Mm. You described your relationship with your cast. How is the relationship with yourself now that do you have a sense of accomplishment, or do you think this is the beginning and you're looking for the next thing to film?
I mean, I'm always looking for my next thing. I'm someone who just needs to keep working. I need to keep telling stories, and like how amazing that now some of the doors are more open to me as a filmmaker because of the success of East of Wall. But I'm always someone who just wants to keep my head down and keep writing. But yeah, it's a pretty remarkable moment, and honestly, it hasn't really set in yet because we've just been going and going. So I feel like in a few months I'll be able to answer that question better.
East of Wall, it's going to be released theatrically tomorrow, right? The 15th.
Yep.
Why should people go see it? Why?
Why should people go see it? Because I think it's if you're interested in authentic portrayals, if you're interested in a different way of maybe witnessing a different way of life, seeing new talent that you haven't seen before, and new faces and new spirit, and then also if you just want to champion this amazing cast for doing their own horse work and own stunts throughout this whole film, is definitely a way to see it, a reason why you want to see this film.
Thank you very much for your time, and break a leg out there, and also congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much.